Students, we are here today in the grouping of the term paper presentation. The topic for today is critically analyze the role of international norms and organizations in shaping civil-military relations globally, and how can governments balance military effectiveness with adherence to human rights principles in conflict situations. We, the member in this group 3, are one, myself, Aliu Mohammed Bala, with matriculation number 2511702400001. We have Noel Zachary Elwa with 2511702400003. We have Salisu Mohammed with matriculation number 2511705400003, and Sar Muazu 2511701400005, and Buhari Yusuf with matriculation number 2511701400003. Department of Security Studies, Civil Military and Security Relations, course title Introduction to Civil Military Relations, course code MSS 828. Introduction. Civil military relations and international norms. Civil military relations are increasingly shaped by international norms and organizations in the global security system. International frameworks such as international humanitarian law, human rights law, and democratic government standards define acceptable military conduct as prescribed by the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs in 2023. These norms promote civilian supremacy, accountability, and professionalism within armed forces. International organizations such as the African Union discourage unconstitutional military involvement in politics and promotes democratic stability. Challenges and evolving dynamics. The implementation of international civil military norms is often uneven due to political interest, sovereignty concerns, and weak enforcement mechanisms. In many fragile states, militaries remain deeply embedded in political and economic systems, limiting full compliance with global standards. Multinational military operations require shared standards, but differences in capacity and commitment create inconsistencies. Emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence in warfare require updated ethical and legal frameworks to ensure civilian protection. Balancing military effectiveness and human rights. Military effectiveness requires speed and flexibility, which can sometimes conflict with human rights obligations in conflict situations. Integrating human rights principles into military operations enhance legitimacy, trust, and long-term operational success. Strong civilian oversight and accountability institutions are essential for ensuring lawful military conduct. Combining kinetic and non-kinetic strategies such as dialogue and humanitarian support improves both security outcomes and human rights compliance. Civil-military relations in global context. In democracies, CMR is based on civilian control, accountability, and institutional checks. 2. In authoritarian regime, military loyalty often supports regime survival over professionalism. 3. Fragile states often experience blurred civilian military rules and weak oversight. Global trend in civil-military relations. Militaries are increasingly used for internal security rules. Pion, Berlin, and Martinez 2023. Global cooperation spreads common military standards. Instability and corruption still weaken civil military. Central L 2022. Military effectiveness and human rights. Military success can sometimes conflict human rights protection. Respect for human rights improves trust and mission success. International law guides military behavior in war. New technologies create ethical and legal challenges. Conclusion. In conclusion, international norms and organizations like the United Nations and African Union play a vital role in shaping civil-military relations by promoting accountability, civilian control, and respect for human rights. However, their effectiveness depends largely on states' willingness to implement these standards. Governments can balance military effectiveness with human rights by ensuring proper training, strong oversight, and adherence to laws such as the Geneva Conventions. This balance enhances legitimacy, public trust, and long-term stability, showing that security and human rights can work together. References for further Studies Understanding. Thank you for listening.